25 years have passed since the day Tara Calico vanished into thin air. The sun was shining bright on that fateful afternoon in September 1990, casting a warm glow over the small town of Belen, New Mexico. For those who knew her, it's a day etched in their memories like a scar, a reminder of what could have been and what will never be. Tara Calico, a bright and ambitious young woman, was out on a bike ride when she disappeared. She had just turned 25, an age where many are finding their footing in the world, making plans for their future. But for Tara, that day marked the beginning of a nightmare from which she would never awaken. The investigation into her disappearance was one of the largest and most complex in New Mexico's history at the time. The local police department, led by Chief of Police Ray Gallagher, worked tirelessly alongside the FBI to unravel the mystery. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, hopes began to dwindle. But for Tara's family, her mother, Patricia Calico, refusing to give up, the search continued. One peculiar detail has stood out throughout the investigation: a cryptic Polaroid photo found on a bike path near the scene of Tara's disappearance. It showed two young women, bound and gagged, with a note that read "Help." The image is grainy, but the fear in their eyes is unmistakable. Many believe this photo might be more than just a random act of violence. It could be connected to Tara's vanishing act. Theories abound, and questions linger. Who took Tara? What happened to her after she vanished? And what about that Polaroid photo? Was it a clue left behind by the kidnapper or a clever ruse to throw investigators off the scent? For 25 years, these questions have haunted the town of Belen. But one thing is certain: something sinister unfolded on that fateful day in September 1990, and Tara Calico's family has been searching for answers ever since. In the small town of Belen, New Mexico, a sense of unease settled over the community in September 2011. 25-year-old Tara Calico had been out on a bike ride, a routine activity she often enjoyed, but this time something was different. Her mother, Mary Calico, received a phone call from an unknown number with a disturbing message: "You'll never see her again." The caller hung up, leaving behind only the haunting words. Tara's disappearance sparked a massive investigation involving the local police department and the FBI. Detective Keith Coppersky of the Belen Police Department was one of the first to respond to the scene. Buzz. So, who are you? Who are you? Who's you? Who's you? He remembered being struck by the eerie feeling that surrounded this case from the beginning. "We were looking for any sign, any clue that might lead us to Tara," he recalled. As the investigation unfolded, detectives discovered that Tara's bike had been found abandoned near a canal, its tires slashed and deflated. Her wallet was still attached to the handlebars, but her identification cards and phone were missing. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The police launched a massive search effort, scouring the area, interviewing witnesses, and reviewing surveillance footage. Over 200 volunteers joined the search party, combing through fields and woods, following leads that seemed promising only to go cold. The FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit BAL was also brought in to assist with the investigation. Agent Michael Candelaria remembered analyzing the phone call from an unknown number. "We suspected it might be a hoax, but the tone and language used were unsettling." As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the community's hope for Tara's safe return began to dwindle. The Calico family became increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress. Mary Calico, in particular, was consumed by her daughter's disappearance. "I just wanted my baby back," she said, tears welling up in her eyes. The case would go on to become one of New Mexico's most enduring mysteries, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a haunting sense of unease that still lingers today. 3 years after Tara's disappearance, in 2014, a woman named Liza Nuland came forward with a shocking revelation. She claimed to have been held captive by the same person who kidnapped Tara. The striking similarity between their stories sparked a renewed interest in the case. Lissa described her captor as a man with a distinctive voice and accent, which eerily matched a 911 call made from Tara's phone on the day of her disappearance. Lissa also revealed that she had been subjected to a series of disturbing rituals by her captor, including being forced to cut off her own hair and having a photograph taken of her in a compromising position. The photograph, remarkably, bore an uncanny resemblance to a Polaroid photo found near Tara's abandoned bike on the day she went missing. AI investigators were stunned as they began to piece together the connection between Lisa's story and the mysterious events surrounding Tara's disappearance. They discovered that both women had been targeted by the same individual in separate incidents, with eerie similarities between their stories. The more they learned about the captor's methods, the more convinced they became that he was trying to send a twisted message. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence emerged when experts analyzed the Polaroid photo found near Tara's bike. They detected a unique digital signature on the image, which led them to an unsuspecting suspect, a convicted sex offender living in New Mexico. The investigation had taken a dramatic turn, and investigators were now focused on unraveling the tangled threads of this twisted case. The investigation into Tara Calico's disappearance was one of the most extensive in New Mexico's history. The local police department and the FBI scoured the area where she was last seen, interviewing witnesses, collecting evidence, and following up on leads. Despite their efforts, no concrete information about her whereabouts emerged. One of the key findings that caught investigators' attention was a Polaroid photo discovered on a convenience store film canister near the Rio Grande River. The image depicted Tara's likeness, along with another girl believed to be identified as 19-year-old Kimberly K. Bauer, who had also gone missing in the area just days before. This eerie discovery led many to speculate about the possibility of foul play. The case file is riddled with inconsistencies and conflicting testimonies from key witnesses. For instance, a witness came forward claiming to have seen Tara's bicycle abandoned near the river, but when questioned further, their story began to unravel. Another witness claimed to have spotted a suspicious vehicle in the area around the time of Tara's disappearance, yet subsequent searches yielded no concrete evidence. Experts suggest that the investigation's focus on Tara as a solo target may have been misguided from the onset.